Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark, Sarah, and Pam, and Alex. How you doing, bud?
Good.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. It's great to have you back. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Give us a listen at LydiaMediaLLC.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@LydiaMediaLLC.com.
Today's show is brought to you by UPI Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. And by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it. Squatch it! At 6 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com. And remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
We have the pleasure of being joined in studio by Dave Perlman, who's the owner of Horizon Visual Media. Good afternoon, Dave. How are you?
Good afternoon to you too, Mark. I am excellent this morning.
We're going to talk all about Dave and Horizon coming up here in just a bit. But right now, let's take a look at some headlines for Tuesday, October 29th.
WMTW reports that an investigation by a Maine law firm found a culture of hazing within the Lisbon High School football team during this season and prior seasons. All football-related activities have been suspended since October 4th, and the school is facing a 2-year ban from competing at the varsity level.
Voters looking to send their ballots in by mail should do so by today. The recommendation comes from the U.S. Postal Service to ensure delivery by Election Day. Election officials have raised concerns about the Postal Service's ability to handle a large amount of election mail this year.
Open enrollment for Maine's online health insurance marketplace begins on Friday. Last year, over 60,000 Mainers enrolled in health and dental plans through CoverMe.gov. Enrollment for 2025 runs through mid-January, but consumers need to choose a plan by mid-December to have coverage by the first of the year.
And Safe Voices honored Good Shepherd Food Bank with the agency's Kimberly Wilson Community Partner Award for their years-long partnership with the agency in providing nutritious food for its shelter facilities. In addition to the provision of food supplies, staff at Good Shepherd Food Bank continually check in with Safe Voices to ensure that all needs are being met. Now with the weather, here's our guest meteorologist, Alex.
Cloudy today with a chance of meatball. Cloudy today with a high of 47 and a low of 25. Rain tomorrow with a high of 60 and partly sunny on Thursday with a high of 72.
In sports, Jaylen Brown led the way with 30 points as the Celtics beat the Milwaukee Bucks 119-108. Boston will visit the Indiana Pacers tomorrow night.
The Bruins host the Philadelphia Flyers tonight at 7.
CMCC women's basketball visits Husson College tonight at 6.
And we have some high school field hockey playoff games today. Class A North quarterfinal, number 8 Lewiston takes on number 1 Skowhegan at 3 p.m.
And the Class B South quarterfinals, it's number 6 Greeley versus number 3's Gray New Gloucester North Yarmouth Academy at 3:45 p.m. and number 7 Poland versus number 2 Yarmouth at 4:30 p.m.
That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it is time for the podcast segment that is Sweepy! The Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for October the 29th, shall we? Mm-hmm. Alrighty then. We're going to start off with Winona Ryder, who is 53 years old today.
Treasure.
Or do you prefer Winona?
I think it's Winona, right?
I believe it's Winona.
Yeah. Is it Winona?
I have no idea.
Oh, now we're all second guessing.
Now we're not.
Dave, do you have any idea? What do you call her?
When you call her.
I don't call her. She doesn't answer.
Maybe it is Winona.
I've always called her Winona.
Maybe
Winona.
It is
Yeah.
Winona.
Let's go with it.
Yep.
Winona Ryder is 53 years old today. I remember her mostly from Edward Scissorhands.
Yes. Loved that movie.
That was a good flick.
For me, it was Beetlejuice.
Yeah, of course.
Never saw Beetlejuice.
And Reality Bites.
Are you serious?
I am
You
serious.
never saw
I never
Beetlejuice?
saw Beetlejuice. There are a lot of
To this day?
big movies I've never seen. to
That
this
seems
day.
like it would be right up your alley because it's some silliness.
You always say that, and then
I
I
know.
watch a movie that you recommend, and I'm
You're
like,
like,
"What is?
no.
Is she on drugs?"
Do you ever?
Like-
You don't watch movies I recommend.
That's true. I thought it would be good podcast fodder. Actor Kate Jackson is 76 years old today. One of the original Charlie's Angels.
My favorite Charlie's Angels.
She played Sabrina Duncan. Yeah,
The smart one.
the smart. She was wicked smart
So smart.
and purdy.
She was party. She is party. She was on that show, The Scarecrow and Mrs. King, too,
Yes,
right?
she was.
In the 80s.
Yeah.
Remember
yeah.
that?
She starred alongside Jacqueline Smith and Farrah Fawcett in Charlie's Angels.
I loved Charlie's Angels so much.
What a show that was.
Oh my God, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't even born.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Shut up.
Shut up.
I
Wow.
didn't watch it either, but I am old enough to watch it, to have watched it.
Guys
did that
didn't
come
watch
out?
it in syndication. It came out before I was born, too. But
ran from 76 to 79.
Yeah.
See, I was 1 when it ended, so.
In its final season, I was 9 years old, and when it was on, I was looking at it going, I bet I'm going to grow to appreciate this someday. There's
just
something in
had
here
a
that I'm
feeling.
missing, but right now. And rounding out FPBs for October the 29th is Richard Dreyfuss.
So good.
Who is 77 years old today. I kind of thought he might be older. He looked like he was like 50 or 60 in Jaws, didn't he?
it was the beard.
Was
Yeah,
it?
I think it was the beard.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just a baby.
Back in the 80s, 40-year-old people looked like 60-year-old people now, right?
Yeah.
There was some
Like,
rough living back then.
I want to say Robert Shaw was only in his 50s. Richard Dreyfuss was quite a bit younger.
Dave, do you have any idea who Richard Dreyfuss is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Elaine's dad.
He's not.
No.
No?
No, they're not related.
Are they not?
They're
Really?
not-
Okay.
No.
No, I know Richard Dreyfuss. I've seen Jaws.
Yes.
Thank
All right.
God.
Cool.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I did like Mr. Holland's Opus.
Oh, that
was a
one was
cute
good.
movie.
What about Bob?
What
Remember
about Bob was
about
great.
Bob?
I heard a little behind the scenes dirt that Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss did not like each
Really?
other. Yeah.
That's not surprising at all.
Yeah. And poor Julie Haggerty had to put up with it. That's
Hopefully they
That
paid her
probably just
extra.
added to the.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted that tension in the movie.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
I mean, maybe not intentionally, but I'm sure it played to the story.
And I think his breakthrough role was American Graffiti. Well, his breakthrough role, I think, was Jaws.
Jaws.
But he was in American Graffiti. I think that was his silver screen debut back in 73. Those are your FPBs for October the 29th. Looking for a tasty meal? We have over a dozen options. Banking services? Plenty to choose from. Holiday gift ideas? Yep, we have that too. These are just a few of the resources you'll find in the October issue of Uncle Andy's Digest, along with jokes, funny stories, shout-outs, an events calendar, advertiser directory, and a whole lot more. Uncle Andy's Digest, your guide to, well, just about anything. Pick up your free copy today and visit uncleandys.com. Now we shift focus to our guest in studio, Dave Perlman, who is the owner of Horizon Visual Media. What can you tell us about Horizon? What's it all about? How did it start?
Okay, so Horizon Visual Media is first and foremost a video production company. Its inception was 2015, and it's grown through several iterations, but essentially we do commercials, recruiting videos, testimonials, brand videos, that type of thing.
Started in 2015.
Yep.
Your company.
My company.
Your baby.
Yeah.
Right?
Shocking.
Okay.
How did you get into this line of work?
By accident.
Okay.
Happy accident.
Do you want to tell us, or should we guess?
It's a secret.
Did a video
Did you-
camera fall on you?
Did you trip and fall in front of a camera? What happened?
Yeah. No, actually, I picked up a camera when a friend of mine who was a avid mountain and ice climber got a cheap camera for himself, and he was showing me some of the stuff that he had recorded. And I'm like, oh, this looks like fun. And in my opinion, this is the best way to get into any kind of career. you have fun doing something, and then you realize that you can actually make a career out of it and do it until it's not fun anymore.
And you haven't gotten there yet.
We're not there yet.
I was going to ask, where are you now? Where do you see yourself in a couple of years?
It's still fun.
What is the most fun part about it?
I like lighting. Lighting is a lot of fun, and it's something that a lot of companies don't really put a whole lot of effort into, but it really does. It sets the mood, and it can really set the tone of an ad. If you're trying to do a fundraiser or something for a nonprofit, like lighting things in a certain way can really evoke a certain emotion, and getting to look at a scene and deciding how you want it lit is a lot of fun.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of people don't realize how important lighting is.
Yeah.
I don't do a whole lot of video work, but in photography, it's everything.
Right.
Can you kind of take us through a recent shoot and just give us an idea of how much work is involved in what you do? Because shooting commercials, people will watch it, it's 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah.
But they don't realize the work behind it.
Yeah, so our last sizable project, we were doing a recruiting video for Burlington, Vermont Police Department, and that was a 4-person shoot that took 4 days, and we were probably about 13-hour days, and we probably could have gone with an extra day. Honestly, we probably would have been okay with that. It's just a lot of moving parts, going from location to location to location, really having to, paying attention to how are we going to light this, and getting the personnel where they need to be when they need to be there. There's a certain amount of herding cats that happens with every shoot, but especially when you're working with that many people, and when those people are first responders, and some of them are actively taking calls. Right. It's a lot of fly by the seat of your pants, while still trying to maintain some sense of organization and preparedness. But that was a fun project, and we got to do some unconventional things. Actually, some things that surprised me that they let us do. We did some following around cruisers in the city, and we were just sitting in the back of a flatbed truck, holding the camera while we're driving down the road.
Doing illegal things.
Pretty much, yeah.
Stuff we did in the 80s for fun.
Yeah. And I asked one of their officers about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised they're letting us do this. He's like, yeah, I guess they really need people.
Also, this is Vermont. We just do what we want.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're barely a state.
Nobody even knows what we're doing over here.
Totally a state. They have Ben and Jerry's.
I know. I love Vermont.
I bribed them with some maple syrup and a pint of ice cream.
The Vermont people were like, get your trash syrup out of here.
And a flannel shirt, and we called it good, We actually, on the way back, we stopped at Ben and Jerry's. I'd never been before. And I don't know why I expected anything different, but 300 people in line waiting to get ice cream, so we didn't stay. I didn't really see much.
He saw the line of people and just made a beeline.
I
for the
walked up, and they had this giant vats on the side of the building, and one of them said cream, so I took a picture of that, and I said,
Sounds about right, Dave.
That's what I remember from my trip there.
He's got a photo gallery and everything.
Wow.
Dave, can you tell us about some recent work that you've done? Clients around this area that we'd be familiar with?
Amongst several other local clients that we've done video projects for, we've actually done a couple for Ruper's Beverage over the last year. One of them was kind of a community, kind of like pulled together community video after the shooting last year. And then the other one was a little bit more of a lighthearted, it was a lighthearted video that we did for March Madness. And Jesse was quite the character in that video.
I did see it. It was funny. They did really well. You did really well.
Last year, we did a project with Auburn Police Department, and we actually just shot another testimonial video with them for ourselves, just kind of following up on the progress of how they incorporated our recruitment video into their recruitment campaign. We were happy to have Jason Moen, should I say Chief Jason Moen? I should say.
Proper.
Yeah.
You got to have a chief chat?
We had a chief chat.
We haven't had a chief chat in a long time.
No, glad that Chief Moen was willing to sit down on camera, and he had a lot of good things to say about how they integrated this video and the role that it played in them solving a lot of staffing issues. So that was a fun project to do. A lot of companies like mine missed the mark where they get so caught up in the creative of it that sometimes they forget about why they're doing the work for the clients in the first place. It was important to me to get this testimonial because it's a measure of result and a measure of function. Like, what did this actually do for the client? It's a good video. It was shot well. It was creative. That's fantastic. But I'm happy that there was some measurable result from the implementation of it. So that was really important for us to get, and I'm glad that we did. Yeah.
But your favorite part of that whole thing was your interview with the dog.
Yes. Yeah. We actually Brick is awesome.
Brick?
Yeah.
I love it.
We actually did interview Brick as best we could.
Brick wasn't feeling it.
Is he as down to earth as he seems?
He is very down to earth.
Okay.
And he wasn't nervous at all.
No. He
was
seems
really
pretty chill.
Did you have a milk bone?
I did not have a milk bone.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a joke to be had there, but
That's a podcast. Go ahead.
no, I'm grasping
He
at
drew a
straws.
blank. He was hoping he could pull something out, but there's your joke right there.
Yeah, right. I think Brick was hoping that I was going to pull out a milk bone, but this is going in a weird direction.
Well, welcome to the show.
No, but we did actually get him in the interview chair, and we got his trainer to we got his handler, because that's what they're called.
Okay.
To get him to bark while he's in the chair, so it kind of made it look like we asked a question, and he responded.
I love it.
And he had about 20 seconds worth of patience sitting in the chair before he decided he was done.
Like,
He
this
said
is bull.
he said all he had to say, and he's a dog of few words.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It seems like you guys do a lot with brand awareness, just kind of cruising through your Facebook and your website.
Yes. The big component for brand advertising for us, or brand awareness for us, is definitely the social media component. We have this duality of services where on one side of things, we're very capable of doing like large production video work that rivals anything that you would see on TV that's made by like a national company. Simultaneously, we also offer kind of like the volume video, social media video, where we go and produce a lot of content for clients. And we actually facilitate the posting of that content too, post it to multiple platforms, write all the copy, that kind of thing. It's been a very popular offering locally because the whole brand awareness piece on social media, a lot of businesses are really, really getting on board with that, understanding that social media is an important tool for business, whether or not they like it or not. Right. And having an outside company kind of come in and be able to produce all the content and facilitate all the scheduling of it is pretty huge. These types of videos, the social media type stuff, it's much more authentic feeling content where you're getting to know the business or the people there, as opposed to like it doesn't feel like an advertisement, or at least it shouldn't. Our philosophy is kind of like you shouldn't be selling in this content. You should just be offering some kind of value, whether it's entertainment or education. And it's interesting. A lot of clients are kind of surprised when I sort of tell them that they should almost share their secret sauce for their business, because they're like, well, why would I do that? Why would I give away my trade secrets or whatnot? But you actually build a lot of rapport when you show somebody how to do a job without hiring you, and then they get 2 minutes into the job and they're like, no.
Yeah.
I need to call a professional. I should call the professional that was willing to offer me so much value up front without asking anything in return. It's kind of fun to apply that concept to a lot of different businesses. And, it's about building real relationships as opposed to just generating leads. Both are important, both are different, and both are interesting. So I think there's also a component to this too, that every and any type of marketing company wants a client to be, they're in a situation right now where they can benefit from my services. But truly, what a client needs really depends on where they're at and what their goals are. And sometimes they don't need what you offer. And if you want to be successful and if you want to stay in business, it's in your best interest to tell them, hey, I don't think you need what I offer right now.
Right, 100%. And that's a good point. Like, you talk to them about what their goals are, and then you give them an honest breakdown of what you can offer. Does this work within your goals? And you work from there instead of being like, I can help you no matter what.
Yeah,
just try to sell them
and give them something that they can't use.
And now they're telling people that don't work with them because that didn't work for me. Like, that's not how
I have so many
we work.
conversations with clients where they approach me to talk about a specific project. Hey, we want to do this video, or we want to do a video about the business. And my first question is always, why? What are you trying to do? And probably 70% of the time, what they come to me asking will change by the time we actually settle on a deal, because I don't think what they're asking for is actually in their best interest. I can help them kind of fine tune, narrow their vision a little bit, narrow their sights, fine tune what they're looking for to better address their goals. And a lot of times, this is something else, like we as marketing companies, we sometimes take what clients say at face value. We assume that the clients know what they're looking for, but especially when you're talking about smaller businesses, a lot of businesses don't really know what they're looking for or how to go about getting it. And that's why they're talking to you in the first place.
Exactly, yeah. We do that a lot. Like,
yeah.
People will tell us what they want, and I try and say, have you tried something like this before? Because I think in your element, this might work for you. And you do the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dave, tell us how Horizon Visual Media has grown in the past 9 years.
My company started the way that many companies like mine started, where it's one guy with a camera, and there wasn't a lot of a marketing component. Everything that I just said, there wasn't a lot of that initially, and a lot of my education in the last 9 years has been not just about the technical skills, but about how these skills can be applied to business conversations and helping business address their goals. So on one side of things, my sights have narrowed a lot when it comes to my own marketing. What are the conversations that I'm having with clients, and how can I make what I offer more client focused? It's not just, hey, I'm a guy with a camera and I want to use my camera to make money. It's, hey, I've got these, related skill sets and pieces of knowledge. Yeah. How can I use these things to help somebody else achieve whatever they're trying to achieve with their business? That's more on the expertise side of things. And the technical side of things, the sum is greater than the parts, how we work now. So rarely are we doing any shoots that are less than 2 people. Most of them are going to be 3 to 4. And the reason for that is the capabilities are far better. What you're capable of doing with more people on set, the end product is just, it really sets it apart. One person with a camera is always going to be limited. So you get good people in there who know what they're doing and are good at their jobs, and my projects today are night and day difference. You wouldn't even it's night and day difference from what they were 10 years ago. So
I would think with any business that is successful or has been around for 9-10 years. There would be a big difference there. Is AI affecting your business at all?
That's a good question. AI so far has only been an asset to my business. They're tools that are going to be available. If you don't learn the tools, you will likely fall behind if you're in a creative field. And there's a whole lot of controversy around it right now. The thing is, I think that the technical is going to change with the implementation of AI. But you're always going to need a creative mind to run the AI, at least for the long foreseeable future. So right now,
until the robots take over.
Exactly, yeah. And at that point, we won't even have to worry about it anymore.
That's right.
Utilizing AI tools in a business and a creative business, what I think companies should do, and what we do to a certain extent, is utilize tools for idea generation and for like to brainstorm, that kind of thing. I don't like copy that's written by AI. I really like copy that's inspired by, AI can create a lot of trending topics and thoughts and ideas. And if you take those things and put them into your own words, then it sounds like a human. I think that if you use AI improperly, you run the risk of sounding like everything else that's out there right now. That's basically my thoughts on it. There are some cool AI tools when it comes to video for like AI set design and whatnot. You can shoot things in a way where you can basically put people in whatever setting that you want to. There's still a lot of limitations with that. But I think that in the next few years, we're going to see a lot of those limitations kind of evaporate, and there's going to be a much lower obstacle to using these tools to create professional video content.
Great stuff. Is there anything else about Horizon that you would like our listeners to know?
I guess if there's one thing that I would want people to know about our business, we do not film OnlyFans content.
Okay.
Yet.
All right.
Good to know. That's why my emails have gone unanswered.
Yes, we're gonna
Whatever,
have to,
Dave.
We'll have to look elsewhere, Mark.
I understand you play guitar and you sing in a band, and you guys have a big gig coming up here in a couple months.
Yeah, we're playing New Year's downtown Auburn, outdoors. We go to bed early, so we're going on at 3:30.
Well, I think what you meant to say was your bandmates go to bed early.
Bert's got to get home and watch Murder, She Wrote, so...
Plus 3:30 cuts into his dinner time, doesn't it?
Right. Yes.
All right.
What's the name of the band?
The L.A. Harley Band.
All right. The Exchange Club of Auburn extends a formal invitation to all veterans for a complimentary luncheon at the Green Ladle in recognition of your steadfast dedication and commitment to our nation. The event is Friday, November 8th at the Green Ladle on the campus of Lewiston High School. For more information, call John Reed at 777-3579.
All right, Dave, it has been a pleasure hanging out with you and getting to learn all about Horizon Visual Media. But before we let you go, we have a little game we like to play called 3 Random Questions. We're each going to ask you a question that has nothing to do with your business, unless you make the answer about your business, and then that's on you.
Okay.
I'm just telling you our role.
Okay.
I don't want to make it weird. All right, question number 1. Dave, aside from running your business and playing guitar and singing, what's something else that you're really good at?
Oh, I know. Oh, not really good at. Sorry. I was going to say golf.
Yeah,
Wow.
actually...
I thought you were going to say, what else do you do? And I was like, I know, he plays golf.
I'm really...
Wait, we're going to let Dave get up from the floor and get back to his
Kick him
microphone.
He's like, what? I'm good at that?
I'm really good at spending time playing golf. It doesn't mean that I'm good at golf. I actually used to play when I was younger, and I did enjoy it. But, there is kind of like a little bit of like what's socially acceptable for people to play as they get older, but also longevity-wise, too. Like, you can't play, like a high-impact sports. You can't play throughout your entire adult life. And golf is one that you can play until you can't play it anymore, and that day might never come.
Right.
So,
Plus, you're a businessman, and
Yeah.
that's where deals are made.
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
We hope.
I mean,
Pam,
that's never happened to me, but
But, Dave has his car wrapped. And guess what happened? After 3 years...
yeah, actually, okay, so deals are made in the parking lot of the golf course.
There you go. See?
No, so anyway, yeah, after 3 years, I mean, my car is basically wrapped for my own vanity, but after 3 years, because I'm not in the kind of business that people just like see a car drive by and they're like, oh, you know what I need today? Marketing. I'm going to call. So anyway, somebody saw me bringing my clubs back to my car, and they saw a video production on the side of it, and they're like, oh, is your car over there? Yep, my car. Can you tell me a little bit about like what kind of video production you do? And gave me their card, and we have a meeting. There's a first for everything.
that's why you play golf. Question number 2. Who's got it? What do you got, Alex?
What if you had $1 million?
If I had $1 million, I would probably want to make like $4 more million, and then just live off of the interest.
What would you do with $1 million?
Buy all the Dario tickets.
All right.
I think you might have a couple of bucks left over.
Buy 1,000 phones.
1,000 phones. Because you need 1,000 phones.
You still have a lot of money left over.
I'd pay $1 million to get rid of my phone.
Yeah, same here. Got a question?
I do.
All right.
If you could smell like only one kind of food for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
That's a Sarah question if I've ever heard one.
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
Ravioli pomodoro,
And why?
Because it smells good.
because it smells good.
Well,
I
I
feel
know
like
if that was like something your mom made for you when you were little and
No.
you just really enjoy it.
no.
No. Just smells good.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if there's a type of food that you want to smell like, Italian food is probably like
Safe.
safe.
Garlic?
Yeah.
Garlic, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't go wrong any kind of Italian food.
Versus like fish.
Right.
Oh, God,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like fish.
Or onions.
Or onion.
Ew.
Ooh,
Pam, you got one?
Oh, I thought Alex took mine, so.
Yeah.
No, you're
Yes,
up.
no.
You're closing the show.
Mine's kind of similar to Sarah's, but on the opposite side. But I'm not going to change it because it takes me too long to find one anyway. What is the worst food of all time?
Ooh.
Onions.
I like to cook, and I'm actually semi-okay at it. So I spend a lot of time looking at like recipe videos and stuff, and I'm passionate about food. So I really need to put some thought into like the worst food of all. It's got to be something from Scandinavia because they don't have
fish.
Yeah.
Or haggis.
There's a Norwegian dish called smolahove, and it is sheep head.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a sheep's head. It's yeah. I would be surprised if there's anything like they don't season. They don't have any seasoning. They don't it's very bland, disgusting food. If we're talking about the worst food in the world, it either comes from Norway or it comes from Iceland or Greenland.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I won't eat there ever. Or if I visit, I'll bring my own
Just
food.
bring
Yeah.
a suitcase of food.
Yeah.
Bring a bag of pretzels.
Yeah.
Dave, thanks so much for joining us today. It has been an absolute pleasure. He is Dave Perlman, the owner of Horizon Visual Media, and you can find them online at horizonvisualmedia.com. Thanks to our sponsors, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and UPI Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, Dave, reach out to Pam Ashby via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com. We'll be back tomorrow with some Maine Nordiques in studio. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you then.